Yes, all the rumors were true. I can't believe that this is actually happening. Bethesda have just dropped the Oblivion remake. This is one of my favorite RPGs of all time. So let's waste no time whatsoever and load it up to see what it is all about. No! Todd, no! Okay, but in all seriousness, this is something that I could have never imagined happening. We have not received anything from Elder Scrolls that was not Skyrim related for more years than I can remember. But now, people get to re-experience Oblivion or play it for the very first time. We are able to go back to the world of Cyrodiil and save it once again. Watching the trailer and announcement for this game brought back so many memories of playing it, and getting to relive it again in this modern style is a dream come true. And this is like easily one of Xbox's biggest wins in who knows how long. They shadow dropped this game, and as of making this video, it is 8 PM on the day it released, and it is already at 170,000 concurrent players on Steam. This is not equating for anyone from PlayStation or anyone from Xbox Game Pass. And from my experience, I'm playing this on Game Pass, so I can't even imagine how many other people are also doing the same thing. This game was shadow dropped to sheer perfection, and this is one of those games that actually deserved a remaster or remake, whatever you want to call it. This came out in 2006, it's nearly been 2 decades. Xbox is now remaking or remastering games that came out in the past decade, which is something another company likes to do a lot. But let's not waste any more time and let's go ahead and play the Elder Scrolls game that is definitely better than Skyrim, and see if it holds true to the original, where it is better or where it is worse. And if you guys do enjoy this video, it would mean a lot if you could like, comment, and subscribe, as we are trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. With that being said, let's get right into it. Of course, the biggest difference that we are going to be seeing in this remaster remake is the graphical difference. And to say the least, it is absolutely astonishing what they were able to do here. I was playing the original a few days ago to get footage for this video, and it's just absolutely insane the difference. Like, the new remake looks so much better. Like, when we see the monologue from Uriel Septim VII, that man looks way too good. And it's not even just within the opening sequence, it is the entire game. I'm just going to be showing footage from the original compared to the remaster just so you guys can see how much of a difference there really is. The first thing I want to show you guys is some of the moments from the opening cinematic from this game. Like, it's just absolutely absurd what they were able to do here. I'm just going to let it play out. Another comparison to show you guys just so you can see the major difference. We have the very first few moments of this game when we are in our prison cell. It looks fine. It looks like a game that came out in 2006. But when we pan over to the remaster, like, are we kidding me? Every single thing is better in every imaginable way. And one of the biggest things I was worried about coming into this remake remaster is a normal thing I usually worry about with these kinds of games. And that is the idea of, are they going to lose the charm and style that the original game had? Of course, you're going to have your annoying fans that complain no matter what about the graphics here. But at least for me, when playing this, it felt like I was playing Oblivion. I know that's like a very basic statement, but that's what you want to feel when you play a remaster or remake. It felt like I was playing a new version of the original game. It is a perfect package. We still get the same charm and quirks that the original game had, but then we just get this new paint of updated graphical fidelity. It's amazing. They did not overdo it whatsoever with this remake. They kept the core of the game the same, but they just made good quality of life updates. But outside of the opening sequence, I also traveled to every single major city to compare them to see how they differ. And what did you really expect? Like, it just looks so much better in this remake, and it is beautiful to look at. Every single city, from Anvil, Bruma, Kvatch, Coral, Bravil, Skingrad, the Imperial City, Shadenhall, and Leyawiin. Every single location looks stunning in this remake. And I'll be showing comparisons as I continue to talk about the cities. All these locations are seemingly one-to-one remakes, which I'm not complaining about whatsoever. I was curious when leaks were going around. I was wondering if they were going to expand on the cities or make them bigger in any way. But they didn't. They kept them the exact same, and I think that works here. I feel like there's no need to try and fix something or change something that isn't broken. There's no issues with the cities in the original title, and there's none now. The only thing I wish they really would do was add more NPCs, but they didn't do that. And how the game would perform when there was a lot of enemies on screen, I don't think they were capable of doing that. Because sidetracking real quick, overall the performance of this remake was solid. I didn't run into too many issues. but there were definitely some laggy moments with the 5-ish hours I've played of this game so far. Most of the lag came from like initially fast traveling or whenever there were just a lot of enemies at once. Like, I went through the entire Kvatch battle, and there's one moment where there's a good amount of enemies on the screen at once. That was like genuinely like pretty laggy. By no means does this game have a bad performance, it's just that in some situations I definitely had some frames drop. But moving on from that, another thing that looked absolutely gorgeous in this remake were the Oblivion gates. When I got to Kvatch and saw these gates for the first time in this remake, I was losing my mind. Because I thought these things were crazy looking in the original, but now they are just on a completely different level. And then once you go into the Oblivion gates, it was as creepy as always. It just genuinely feels like you enter into some type of hellscape. It really is just a dream come true. Watching one of my favorite RPGs of all time get this high of a quality of a remake, it is amazing. Because it's funny, I feel like when I play older games, my brain like fills in the gaps. I picture the game in my mind looking so much cooler and better than what it actually is. But now seeing this remake like actually being what I think of the game in my head is like such a cool thing. But last thing I'll touch on in terms of the graphical difference is the character models. Just through the character creation, every single race looks a lot different compared to the original game, which I have no issue with whatsoever. This is a massive improvement, because this was something that Bethesda games have always kind of struggled with. They have never really had the best facial animations or anything of that sort. I'm not saying they're phenomenal here, but compared to the game in 2006, it's night and day. It's insane. But even as we just take a look at all the races in your character creation, it is a massive difference here. As you can tell, like, these things look so much better. It is absolutely insane the improvements that the remake was able to do here. Like, compared to the original, this is absolutely insane. Because especially when we look at these characters from 2006, they do look a little bit different. So when we do look at the original Oblivion to the new one that just came out, this is exactly what a remake should be. This is exactly what should be done when upgrading graphics from an older game. Because they were able to modernize the graphics but still able to keep the feeling of Oblivion at its core. Which to me is the most important thing. I want this remake to feel like I am playing the original game once again. And I genuinely can't even describe the feeling. It actually feels exactly like the original game in every single aspect. But moving on from the graphical changes, another area that saw a pretty big overhaul was the combat. Now, when we're talking about the original combat system in Oblivion from 2006, to put it simply, it just wasn't really that good. I don't think there's a single Elder Scrolls game that has actually good combat. And for the most part, I relatively feel the same way here with the Oblivion remake, but it's not a bad combat system by any stretch of the imagination either. The combat is a lot more fluid, there's better animations, the enemies actually react to your hits. It functions basically the exact same way as the original Oblivion, but it just looks and feels better. Like something as simple as the sword animation, there's multiple of them, you're not just swinging left and right, your sword actually like moves in different directions, which I like a lot. Again, I'm not the biggest fan of Elder Scrolls combat in general, I really don't like the hack and slash style of things and I just find it very basic. But overall, this remaster definitely does improve on the combat from the original Oblivion. Another aspect that was tweaked with here in the remake was the leveling system. They kind of play with both leveling systems from Skyrim and Oblivion and mix them together a bit. In this remake, we do have our major and minor skills that we can level up. Our major skills leveling up though give us more XP compared to our minor skills. And once you do level up, you're given 12 virtue points to allocate to your 7 different attributes that you have in this game. Those being strength, intelligence, willpower, agility, speed, endurance, personality, and luck. You are only allowed to pick 3 different attributes that you want to upgrade, and you cannot allocate more than 5 virtue points to a single attribute. But now that the minor skills do help you level up, overall compared to the original, you will be leveling up a lot faster, which is a good thing. And also a lot of the core mechanics that were in the original are still here now. Like when you have the whole entire persuasion system where you have that wheel to help max out your disposition with different characters, that's still here in this game, which I like a lot. I'm very happy that they stayed true to this game's core and didn't really change too much. But overall, for my initial time with the Oblivion remake, I could not be happier playing this game. In my mind, this is exactly what a remake or a remaster should be. You keep the core original game at the forefront, but all you really do is just do quality of life updates. And that's what we see here. The graphical fidelity is absolutely overhauled, but the charm of the game is still there. The combat system is massively improved, but they don't change it in any way. It's still your hack and slash like you do in the original. And it's the same with everything else, from the dialogue, the core mechanics, everything here is still the same as it was in the original game in 2006. And especially for a game like Oblivion, I feel like it was so important to do so. Because one of the things I feel like made Oblivion so appealing was some of the jankiness that it had, the randomness, the weird dialogue. Those were some of the most appealing parts to Oblivion. I'm so excited to see other people get to experience this game for the very first time. Because I know a lot of people don't like playing older games, which I don't think is a good thing. I think you miss out on a lot of amazing titles. But that's a good thing about remakes sometimes. People that don't like those older games are able to experience some of the best titles of all time. And that is exactly what is going to happen with this Oblivion remake. So many other people are going to experience one of the best RPGs of all time. But if you were unsure if this game was something that you should buy or play, I highly recommend it. This is an unbelievable remake. And I recommend this to absolutely anyone. If you've played Oblivion before, if you've never played it, I recommend this game. And for $50, that is an absolute steal nowadays. For many people, this is one of their favorite games of all time. So thank you so much to Xbox for remaking this absolute classic. If you guys made it to the end of this video, thank you guys so much for watching. Your support means the absolute world to me. If you guys did enjoy it, it would mean a lot if you could like, comment, and subscribe, as we are trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. Again, thank you guys so much for your support. I really hope you enjoyed today's video. I will see you guys in the next one, and God bless.